Well, I'm in a car wash with good light. The reason I am is because I'm stuck. My car service has been destroyed by the people that brought in all these illegals and put them into car services and limousine companies and cab companies. And now I find myself forced to go back to a rideshare company. And the very people I end up driving around are the illegals that they brought in and gave everything to for free. I can't pay my bills. I'm maxed out on my cards. I'm facing disaster. So far, I haven't missed a payment on my loan or my cards or my line of credit, but I'm probably going to do that this month. I just had to pick up a Somali woman with a little kid, little toddler, no car seat. I say you can't. Oh, I just go around the corner. Okay, all right. So I'm just going around the corner, and as we're pulling out, she pulls this fast one. She's. I need you fix my phone. She wants me to add a stop, and I'm like, I don't do that. You do that. So she's playing dumb, and I'm like, and I hear the thing go, and there's a stop. Okay, great. You figured it out. Wonderful. How many billions are we going to send back to Somalia today? So, I got a little thing there. And this happens all the time with these folks. she she has a fake job. They've given them all fake jobs, these NGOs. And the people that have brought them in to do this very thing, which has destroyed our livelihood in our country. Minnesota, Central Ohio is the same way. Columbus, Ohio is exactly the same way. And it's not just Somalians here. There's West Africans, East Africans, Central Americans, South Americans, all of them getting free rent. All that entire part of town is all, and and the properties are all owned by a certain tribe who control the currency and who are doing this to us because they don't need us anymore. So here I am debating. I'm like, I should just stop and put her and the kid out where we were, on off of 161 somewhere. I'm like, so I'm looking at it. I go, well, you put the first stop in second. So you've got yourself going to work and then me taking the kid back? No, that's not how this went. So I'm looking at it. I go, all right, it's back there almost on top of where I picked her up. I bite my tongue. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I can't fight a global takeover, a global destruction of Western society. I'll let the stupid, idiot, liberal women do that. Like the one woman in Minnesota that says that white people don't deserve property anymore. We work for it. We don't deserve property anymore. We're going to take it and give it to these Somalians. Just give it to them. And the Somalians, when they do take over, are going to rape and kill all the white women. Guaranteed. So anyway, this stupid woman, I'm like, all right, because she got a little kid. And at least she put the seatbelt on. I'm like, put the seatbelt on. And, he's not big. He should be in a car seat. I should never have picked him up. He starts kicking the center console. And I'm like, don't let him do that. She says, oh, she grabs his leg. She's still fucking around with her phone. And I'm like, look, don't change anything. Don't cancel. Don't do nothing. I turned around, took her all the way back to Tamarack and 161, right in the middle of Somalia. Dropped the kid. She says, you're not going to leave me. I should have, by the rules. But I'm like, no, just just take care of your spawn. So she comes back out, gets in the car. I drive her all the way up here, or down here actually, from 161 at Tamarack, which is up in Little Somalia, which it is now, all the way down here to High Street and Graceland, which is sort of not the middle of town, but the north end. And she's working at some old folks' home, which is, they're all phony baloney jobs. A limo company I used to work for, for a short time, we were driving Somalians all the way to the Wilmington airport in the middle of Ohio, about 100 miles, supposedly to make gas station sandwiches. And there's nothing at this airport. It's a CIA airport, just like Rickenbacker used to be in Columbus. Too many prying eyes around Rickenbacker. So they built this fucking... I even drove white people down there where they had a rally for Orange Man Bad one day. And I'm like, why are they doing it here? Well, they're going to make use of the CIA airport. I'm so fucking fed up with this bullshit. And I voted for these cunts 3 fucking times. And I'm still paying $3 a gallon for gas. These motherfuckers. That's all I wanted was just properly, some cheap gas. Now we have Venezuela, which is like the largest producer of crude, dark crude, the thick, gooey dark crude. And we have the all the refineries on the Texas Gulf of America coast are all for this heavy crude, not for light crude that comes from Canada or up in Alaska. Totally different kind of oil. The other shit from Alaska and Canada, it's like shale oil and shit, sand oil. It looks like fucking cooking oil. It's so thin and light. That's why they call it light and sweet. It's sweet. It's so sweet. So are the people that fucking own us. So anyway, back to this Somali. I'm thinking, you know what? I'm just gonna let it go. I'm gonna bite the bullet on this one. I wasn't even gonna report it to the certain rideshare company I've been driving for, unfortunately. But I know they'd turn around and she'd lie and say something that I did, because the trip like doubled in price. And I added a note. I said, I'm not picking her up again. They let you choose, which is interesting. Say, yes or no, would you drive this person again? Which basically just screws the driver. It doesn't do anything to the passengers. It screws the driver. So I wasn't choosing anything, but then they force you to. Because if you can't take another call until you finish the fucking yes or no. So basically the computer and this company are fucking you in the ass. A double whammy. Not only, pennies on the dollar, where I used to make, I drive all day now with this crap just to cover my bills. And I used to make that in one trip with my car service, which is now dead, because all these illegals put listings on Google and Yelp and push me and everybody else off of the first page. So nobody even knows I exist anymore. Nobody calls. And they're all doing it cut rate, a fraction of what a real... I'm the only industry that has cut prices for the past 2 decades. I made more 20 years ago in Los Angeles than I do now because they can. Car services have destroyed us. Destroyed us, destroyed our industry, destroyed, you know, you can't talk to these people. They don't fucking talk like a normal human being, and they're shifty because they know they're pulling a fast one. She getting everything for free. She goes, oh, usually Uber. I said, well, this ain't Uber. I'm not going to touch your phone. I'm not doing anything. You put it in, I'm going to go there, okay? And so I left a note. I had to. I wasn't going to even say anything, to the company, but I know they're going to, why is this price doubled? Because you're gouging us now. We can't fuck you in the ass anymore, Mr. Lucan. You're trying to do it to us by driving around in circles. It's like, no, I left a message. I said, she's pulling a fast one up. There's a certain portion of the population that will get in with a bunch of little kids, and they'll either have too many of them and no car seats, or even just one with no fucking car seat. And they've always got an excuse. And up until now, I said no. This time I'm like, which means that I'm liable if the kid get hurt. So we got Mayor Ginther in Columbus, Ohio, selling us down the river. These idiots. Well, they're not idiots. They're actually cashing in. The city council, people running the county. The county services people fucked me trying to cut my benefits. And I had to go to the state twice and argue it. And the state ruled in my favor, saying, you can't do this to this old guy. He's an old white man, but you're not really supposed to do this. And it's all these black and white liberal women in fucking county offices. They've been doing it to me for fucking almost 10 years. Since I came back to Columbus. So here's this woman, the Somali, and I'm thinking, oh, it's Somali. Now we're being told you're not only a racist and a anti-Semite and an anti-Somali. It's not Somalians, it's Somali. So it's like pepperoni. It's not a single. It's not the plural is Somali. These people got a lot of fucking nerve. And she's pulling that shit with me, and I'm like, she knows exactly what the fuck she's doing. Exactly what the fuck she's doing. And she's getting away with it because these motherfuckers, these cocksuckers that have been stealing billions from us, with the fucking free money, handing it out, and it all goes overseas. It doesn't just go to warlords in Somalia. It goes to offshore accounts for every goddamn person, and everybody that's in government, they got a little hidey hole in their house where there's a pile of cash. If you searched every person, like Tim Walz, he finally gets caught and then says, oh, I'm just not going to run for office. You're treating these poor Somalis. So you're evil. You're a racist. You're treating you're our neighbors. They're our neighbors. And they fucking hate us. It's going to come to blows one day. Not me, for the time being. It's going to come. We're going to have to take up arms. That's why we kept them. That's why we are going to keep them. One day, the day is going to come where we're going to take up arms. There's not going to be any war. There's not going to be a civil war. There's not going to be a whole lot of shooting. Because the military and the police and the fucking National Guard will not oppose us. They will be on our side. They'll be bringing the fucking equipment for us to use. And we're just going to roll up to every state house, every city hall, every federal building, and every Federal Reserve building one day armed to the teeth, and we're going to take it back. We're going to say, you got a choice. You're out of off. You're whatever if official thing you had. You're done today. You're done. Now, you can give back. We know you've got tons of money, tons of cash, tons of investments, gold, houses. You're going to hand that over to us. You're going to give it to the poorest white people among us. Because, yeah, I'm a fucking racist. We're the ones that fucking are getting screwed. We're the ones that are being driven into extinction. And we're not going to let it happen. So that day is fast approaching. Because there's only so far you can push our buttons. But that's also part of the I'll say it, the Zionist plan. These guys, whoever controls the currency, whoever controls the spice, controls the universe. Whoever controls the currency, controls the world. And they control every currency. It's real simple. Nothing gets done without that. That for now it's the dollar, but the euro, every other currency, measurement of currency. They control the silver, they control the gold, they control all of it. And they hate us. They're at the point where now they can build machines that will take care of them. They're probably life extension. They're probably already halfway there. And they are smarter than everybody else. I'll end with that. Mark Twain postulated about it too, but in his time, he condemned specifically the Austrian government because they were passing anti-Jewish laws, which were basically anti-money lending, usury laws, and they had every right to do so. That's what precipitated the two world wars. It is true. It's the truth. Hey, there's Bubba. I'm driving. I can't drink. Gamma. It's all true. It's blatantly obvious. It's laid out, and there's actually a document that they released on purpose. They're saying, "Oh, that's racist. That's anti-Semitic." Well, first of all, they're not Semites. The Semitic people are the Arabic people, all the way from Greece to India. Not counting the Persians. Persians are not Arabic, which is weird because they're like right in the middle of it. The former Persian Empire. They're still running shit too. That's why we haven't really done anything to Iran. So I was gonna make a point. It don't matter. It don't fucking matter. I just can't believe I'm. Oh, and then on top of that, the fucking car fucks up again. $1,500 for a Cadillac headlight assembly. I got an aftermarket one. Find out that it's missing it's a copy of the original, not OEM, but it's aftermarket. And the one that Fine Line Body Shop here in Columbus put in, the guy, I found a mechanic that actually is a decent guy because he's out in the countryside. And he said, he was going to only charge me like $250 to put it in and replace it because I already had the bulb and everything. He goes, I said, no, dude, you said you had to get a ballast for the light. Of course it's got a special. He goes, well, I found one for $70, not 200. I go, all right, but don't, 250. I'm pleading poverty, but I'm not trying to fuck you. He says, I understand. He goes, $300. I'm like, fuck deal, I don't have it, but I put it on a charge card, just to put a fucking headlamp in because these cocksucking guys at Fine Line, they're the Eastern European types with the running suits and the gold chains. Or maybe they might be, there's a whole shitload of them. There are a lot of Armenians, but it's basically Western Asia, Eastern, and that's where the Zionists came from. Actually, their DNA, the Human Genome Project, proved that they're more closely related to the Kurds, the Kurdish people north of Iraq, than anybody on the planet, and they're certainly not Hebrews. They're not ancient Israel. They have zero DNA from ancient Israel. But they're running the fucking show. And I am the poster boy for this shit. And I just got finished driving. I do not really I don't hate these people. I don't fear Islamophobia. I'm not afraid of it. I see who's actually behind it. And that's why they scream bloody murder when you start pointing the finger at the true people behind it. But we're powerless unless every fucking American with a weapon picks him up one day and then marches into the nearest government office building, seat of power. And we just say, here's the Constitution, says right here, this is what we're supposed to do. You guys are gone. We're going to put some of you in prison. We're going to try the rest of you, the worst offenders, we may execute, but everything you have, you're going to turn it over to the United States Treasury, and we're going to wipe this debt because it doesn't exist. You're in Canada? Canada used to be great until the commies took over, the Marxists, We used to go up to Canada all the time. We had family friends that had a great big cabin up there on the Ottawa River. Beautiful spot, right? You look across the river, there's Quebec. Deep River, Canada. Deep River, Ontario. That's where it was near. Great, great memories up there, man. Just beautiful. Big, the fishing was. So that's all gone now, man. You can't go across the border with guns. We used to do that. We used to go up, we'd bring back cases of beer. Can't do that no more. Fuck. Anyway. So I am now chauffeuring the very people who have put me out of business. Yep. Yeah, even they scream. These liberal libtards, they scream and yell about native rights, and all that shit. And they're the ones that are fucking the Native Americans and the Native Canadians the worst. Just fucking them hard, and then lying about it. So anyway, I gotta get something to drink. I'm parched. I just had to get on and moan again about the sheer irony of the situation, where I find myself, in order to make ends meet, because my business has been wiped out, I have to drive the very people who are getting free rides from Uber and Lyft. I have to drive the very people they brought in to destroy our country. And it's now everybody's crying, screaming and yelling about it, but it's like, you know what? We let it happen the past 5, 10, 15 years. We let it happen. Fuck it. Anyway.